Welcome to PopWire. My name is Rhoyle, and today we are chatting with Rhoyle Ivy King from the CW's All-American Homecoming. Hello, Rhoyle. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, honey.
Gorgeous, as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I loved your character's introduction in the backdoor pilot on All-American. We were introduced to your character Nathaniel backstage at a fashion show, which I thought was a great introduction to show how fabulous your character is, right? And you yourself are into fashion. Can you talk a little bit about how you express yourself through fashion?
Absolutely. For me, I feel like fashion is just one of those things that allows to have an outward expression of who you are. It kind of just shows people just a little glimpse of your personality and sometimes the things you care about. Probably one of the most important things for me is a lot of times what I'm wearing is kind of an outside in reflection on the things I have to get done that day, the way that I'm feeling. I'm often one that when I'm busy, I wear all black. Like it's just an all black, very New York feeling outfit. But for me, sometimes it just dictates the emotion that I'm feeling or whatever I want to show that day. And I also love to explore, the different aspects of fashion. Sometimes to me, truly, a jean jacket and a white t-shirt is a fashion statement, same way Balenciaga could be, So just however you're feeling that day and whatever you want to express.
Do you get to choose the pieces for Nathaniel on the show, or is that all chosen for you?
Oh, so our designer, Tiffany, who, my God, I love her so much. She brings in a whole bunch of examples. And through some of those things, I get to kind of, go, this is my favorite, this is my second favorite, my third favorite. But the final say, no, but it's definitely not up to me.
Okay. How would you describe your character, Nathaniel?
Miss Nathaniel, I think probably the most important thing about her right up front is that loyalty is one of her top priorities in top characteristics, that above all else, she's loyal to her friends and the people that she holds close. And she is just one that she really likes to help her friends navigate their experiences in this coming of age moment in life. She loves fashion, of course, but she's also pre-law major. So I think even with those aspects, there's something in this world that she wants to do and some things that she wants to accomplish. And I think some of the things that she stands up for when it comes to her friends and her family are very telling of the things that she truly cares about and that she wants to have a play in this world.
There's been improvement with LGBTQ representation in the media, but in scripted television, there's not much representation of people who look as fabulous as you do, with the makeup, the hair, and stuff like that. And what is it like to represent the non-binary community on TV? I think on the CW, there's just you and one other person, right? How does it feel like to represent that part of the community?
I think the best way to summarize it is it's an honor, because I feel like everyone needs someone, especially for the young people that are growing up, some character or someone to look towards as just a reflection of who they are. I was listening to a Viola Davis interview the other day, and not to quote her exactly, but they asked her a question about why is representation so important? And loosely quoting, she said something along the lines of, it is the manifestation of dreams coming true, or the things that I want to do coming to life. And I think that's the thing, is that my hope is so many young non-binary people can see someone like Nathaniel and they can go, there's a lane for me. There's a path for me. Because even in her journey, she's really starting to trailblaze a path for herself. And I'm hoping that non-binary people are seeing someone that is also laying down the grounding for their dreams and the things that they want to go into as well.
Do you get to work with the showrunner and the writers to make sure that your character's story is accurately represented on TV?
Absolutely. It was something that NK opened up right from the jump, that it was really important to her, one, that the character was authentic, but also that we weren't writing a character that's going to be this queer character, that she's more than that. She's just a person who so happens to be queer. And so she gets the opportunity to explore what it's like to be a human on TV. I've talked about before, I feel like so often on TV, we're depicted as a stereotype, or just, fly, fabulous all the time. But what I really like is that the showrunner has really put more thought into this, has put more truth and love and light behind her, that she gets to just be a human.
And before we continue, we have a question from actress Yvonne Chapman from the CW's Kung Fu. So let's take a look at that now.
Hello, I'm Yvonne Chapman from CW's Kung Fu, and my PopWire question to you is, what is the funniest joke you know by heart?
Oh, Yvonne, that's a really good question. Okay, it's not a joke, because I can't think of a joke off the top of my head, but one line that always cracks me up in the musical Kinky Boots, that sometimes I'll rewatch it. Every time Lola comes out, she's always like, ladies, gentlemen, and those who have yet to make up their mind. And I don't know why that always just cracked me up, but that would probably be something that always gives me a little chuckle.
Did you get to see it on Broadway with Billy Porter? I think he was. Yeah. You did?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Actually, so funny story behind that. My teacher, there was all these other songs I wanted to sing in class, and my teacher was like, that's wonderful. I love that. Here's a ticket. Go see this musical tonight called Kinky Boots. And I was like, okay. And you're going to learn Not My Father's Son. And so I went, saw the musical, bawled my eyes out, was so inspired. But truly, I think, no, because at that point I had never seen Rent live. That was probably the first time I'd ever seen a queer character on a live stage. So for me, watching Billy Porter do this, I was blown away, and I think I had a connection to it that I wasn't expecting, and it just took me off guard, and it's an incredible musical.
And, speaking of that line that cracks you up, it reminds me of a line on Will and Grace where Karen goes, ladies, gentlemen, and undecided.
Right.
Okay, so back to the questions. One of my favorite scenes was with Keisha and your character, Nathaniel. The Keisha Shield scene. I thought that was such a beautiful scene, and like raw and emotional for your character. What was it like filming that scene?
Oh, I'm actually so glad you asked me about this. So I will never forget reading that scene, because normally my routine is every night before I go to bed, I kind of do one last rehearsal of all of my scenes, like in my bathroom mirror, to just play with choices. And I could not get through that scene saying the words out loud without losing it, even on my own. And so when we got there that day, I remember the rehearsal. I was like, I got to hold it together. We got to get through this rehearsal so we can get the lighting done. Rehearsal, lost it. Netta lost it. Cam, the writer, he lost it. Like, it was so emotional, and that wasn't the expectation of the scene at all. And I remember telling Cam, I was like, I don't know if you realize how much truth you put into this, because even for myself, one of the most awkward and sometimes terrifying experiences is using a public bathroom. I mean, you're standing at a urinal, someone behind is going, ma'am, what are you? And I'm like, no. So, it was a moment for me that I didn't have to, put on or necessarily rehearse too many choices. It all just flowed, and I was able to just deliver it. And working with someone like Netta, who is so giving of an actress and so beautifully prepared all the time, it just made that scene all come together. That was probably my favorite scene
Wasn't it? It was really beautifully done, and you were fantastic in it.
Thank you so much.
In episode 12, Damon calls Thea her bright light. I feel like your character brings a lot of bright light to the show, and you were talking about loyalty and friendships and with the characters, and those are like the highlights of the show for me. Are any of those on-screen friendships with the characters, are they off-screen as well? Like, how are your friends? Are any of them friends with you guys in with you in real life? I hope so.
Oh my goodness. I can't even begin to explain. The majority of the fun we have is off camera. Um, and there's even some times, like for example, when one of my favorite friendships to develop on camera is Nate and JR. And there was a moment when me and Sylvester were filming the scene at the elevator when JR had, kind of his big explosive episode. And we continued to improv in our playful banter as people. And so they kept it. And we were just cracking up, like not them keeping, just us talking. Yes, we eat lunch together. We hang out together. We're over here talking about a cast dinner like right before. So, it's definitely something that we, from the pilot, started to grow very, very close with each other. And all of the relationships truly that you see building on screen is really happening in real life, even down to our family dinners. That came from us having cast dinners with our showrunner, and next thing you know, it's in the script. So when we were filming that scene, it was just like we were back at our restaurant after we wrapped the pilot. So yeah, we're a very close-knit cast.
Awesome. Is there any part of yourself that you bring to your character, Nathaniel?
Yes, I probably one of the biggest aspects that I tried to really pour into her was being very earthly and grounded. Um, I wanted to play a character that she could actually be the rock, which for me was flipping the coin on how we're normally represented. Normally, we're the floaty ones. I'm just in a stage of fluidity in life and I haven't landed anywhere. But she, in fact, is probably one of the more grounded people. She's the one that's rooted. And in fact, sometimes she's so rooted that people can put their hand on her shoulder to find stability. And so that for me is the role that I like to play in my friendships, just being someone. I always tell my friends, like, all you need to know is I'm there with you. Like, even if we don't need to talk about it, we can't resolve whatever you're going through. I'm gonna just sit on the couch with you and we could just be present. And so that was something that I really wanted to pour into her and let, that flow through the TV so people can watch her, especially the people that don't have proximity to a non-binary person, and they can go, I wish she was my friend.
You've had so many great looks throughout the season. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes. It was, which episode was that? I believe it was episode 9. It was episode 9, and unfortunately, y'all never actually got to see the real look.
Oh,
But it's on my Instagram because I loved it so much. I had to share. It was the party scene where Thea and Nate went to the frat party that they were having, and it was Thea going on her date. And I wore this fabulous, like, it was these thigh-high boots with this
yeah.
cheetah skirt and this fitted black top. And Lauren did this blue eyeliner. And we finished, and I just sat there like, this is it right here. Yeah, that's probably my favorite look.
Awesome. I want to congratulate you on season 2.
Oh, yes.
How did you hear about that renewal, and what was your reaction?
Okay. Our showrunner called us an hour before the deadline article and the articles were about to drop because she had just gotten the call. So that was actually how I found out. And I remember I was on the treadmill I saw all these unread messages in our group chat with the showrunner, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And so I, for some reason, was being silly and had the phone in my hand because I thought I was just going to, kind of check in and make sure everything was okay. That was the first message I read from her, and tripped on the treadmill, dropped my phone. I'm okay, obviously.
Okay.
But I literally just dropped my phone, and I had to like pause for a moment. Nobody else was in there. And so it was just something that I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because the CW, they did a big cut this year. So it was something,
yeah, they did.
yeah, it was something that it was like, okay, God, whatever you're wanting this to be is what's gonna happen. And so when we got that text from her, it was just nothing but joy. Nothing but gratitude to know that, we're being seen and they love what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, we all came together to do something so much bigger than us.
Yeah. Is your phone okay?
Yes, my phone is okay. Shout out to Otterbox.
Awesome. Yes. And I really hope you get promoted to series regular for season 2.
Yes,
That would be awesome to see much more of your character.
absolutely.
What are your hopes for season 2 for your character, Nathaniel?
Season 2, I'm really eager to see where she continues in her career, as far as her major. I think, like I told the showrunner and the writers, I think it's so beautiful to see a young queer professional, and that's something that I haven't seen necessarily on TV, or at least when I was growing up, I didn't see that. And so I would love for young people to see this character carve out a path for herself in the professional world, and start to get into the nitty gritty of her future. And I would also be curious to know some of the things about Brinkston that she wants to push and that she wants to challenge, involving the direction in life she wants to go. I would also be curious to see if she falls in love.
That's what I was hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Man, love interest. I want to see a love story with Nathaniel. That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
And what's pretty awesome is that, the season 2 is coming this fall.
Yes.
So it's really fast. When does production start on that?
We're looking to start maybe around July.
Okay.
I think it's mid-July we're going to get going. And we'll be filming and airing at the same time. So
Awesome. And any message to the fans of the show?
I mean, yeah, I would say thank y'all so much for tuning in. And I truly hope that at some point through this season, you got to see people that were on the next step of the better version of themselves. And that inspires someone to continue down that path, because it's not an easy path. And we're going to continue down that path in season 2. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rhoyle, for your time. You can watch season 1 of All American Homecoming on the CW and on the CW app. And season 2 airs Mondays this fall on the CW, right after All American. Thank you, Rhoyle.
Thank you. I love it. Happy Pride.